Hey there guys, Mark here from Soulfly Concepts and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at FSEarthTiles slightly more in depth than before. Today I'm going to walk you through how to make your winter textures, your night textures, and just put everything you want inside FSX. I will be sort of touching on how you can use the same technique for P3D, but it's going to be a long one, so I'm going to point that out right now. So yeah, sit back, relax, and get ready. Here we go. Okay, so here we are in FSEarthTiles. Now I will put the link for this software in the description. It won't be a direct download link, what it'll be is a link to my Dropbox, and you can grab it from there. There will already be an INI file inside there, so you can use that just as you normally would. So today we're going to be making a piece of photo scenery. It's not going to be a big area, it's not going to be massive or whatnot. So we're just going to be looking at something where we can make some night textures, some hard winter textures, and I'm going to show you how to place everything inside Flight Sim. So let's go ahead and grab an area. I want something that has a bit of water in it, like this. But I don't want something humongous. Let's have a look here. Can't pick London because everyone's already done London. Right. So we've got Newcastle Airport here. Let's have a look. There should be a couple of places around here that's a bit of water somewhere. You know what? Let's just go for the River Tyne. Let's just do Newcastle. Why not? Newcastle, fair enough. So, when you get FSEarthTiles, what you want to do is you have your navigation window here. You can navigate through the maps. You get your services along the side, and you get your simulator compiler. This only goes for FS9 and FSX. However, if you compile for FSX, it's the same game engine as P3D. So you can compile for P3D, it just has to be compiled for FSX first, then use the P3D resample tool. Area snap, I've got that turned off. If I turned it on, you can see it's got LOD13 like long on tiles. Yep, but let's leave it turned off for now. Create area mask, I've got that set to yes because we want to create masks. We want the mask file and the night textures and the seasonal textures, etc. Compile scenery, we've got that set to no because we don't want FSEarthTiles to compile our scenery for us. We want to do that ourselves. We get much better results. And use cache, it honestly doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Right, so if we click on draw, we can then go ahead and draw an area. Now I don't want something humongous, I want something fairly small, so about 1,000 tiles. Look at that, perfect. Okay, 1,040 tiles then, why not? So I can make that a bit smaller. $1,014, can't complain. Okay, so we've now got an area drawn. What we want to do now is we want to go ahead and click on start, but before we do, we want to designate where the folders are going to be going to, so like where the files are going to be sent to. Now right now we've got a work folder which everything will be stored in, and we've got our FSEarthTiles folder or the add-on scenery folder in FSEarthTiles where everything gets sent after compilation. I like to change both of them. It's your preference really, but I like to change both of them for what we're working with. So Newcastle City. Just copy that. And we'll paste it there. Oh, I pasted 2 slashes. Oops. There we go. Newcastle City. Okay, now once we're happy with everything, we can click on start, and it will compile the imagery for us. Okay, so now that's done, FSEarth masks will open up, and what it'll do is it'll take that one large image that we just compiled there, it's joined it all together in a mosaic pattern, and it will make several copies of it and apply different features. For example, hard winter, night textures, etc. Okay, we'll get to see all of them in just a second there. Right, so that's FSEarthTiles sorted out. We don't need to open it anymore, so we just close it, revealing our good old friend Photoshop. Yeah. Right, so what we want to do is we want to find that output. It's FSET work Newcastle City. Okay, so once we come into here, we can see we've got all of our imagery. Now, the original one it compiled from FSEarthTiles was this guy here, the area snap, area LP1 snap off, and the coordinates for it there. FSEarthMasks then copied this and created all of these little guys. FSEarthMasks then copied it and created the variants. So the variants include the mask, the night lighting, the spring, autumn, winter, and hard winter. And this thing here is just an area thumbnail. Not important. Okay, so the one we want to focus on straight away is the normal daytime texture, the original one it brought out for us. Okay, now these are our mask colors. You can see we've got transitions, photo water, autogen and sea, terraphoto real nightlights, autogen, dirty rivers. Okay, now this thing here is fairly important. I got mine for a screenshot, so you might want to do that now, but I'll put a link in the description anyway to a screenshot, to the picture, should I say, that I took. Okay. So these are our colors, and let's focus on them now. So what I want to do first is I want to make the transitions on the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a transitional border around the image. So will help the image fade out so it's not going to stand out too badly. So you're not going to have these horrid jagged lines. It's not going to be a square piece of photo scenery. It's going to be a nice gentle piece of photo scenery that fades out at the edges. So we want to make a new layer. We're going to get a nice large brush with a full opacity. Bring the hardness down so it's nice and soft. And make sure we've got our color selected. Let's go ahead and start fading that out. Every now and then just take your finger off the mouse button just in case Photoshop decides to either A, ping your mouse across the screen, or there's any issues like a blue screen or whatnot. No, if there's a blue screen, you're pretty much screwed. Just take your mouse button and let go of it every now and then just to give yourself a little bit of leeway, because if for some reason you go like that, oh dear, and you press Ctrl Z, it doesn't take everything away. Just a bit easier. Okay, so I put our transitional border in. What I like to do is just get a slightly smaller brush and just go around the edges like that. I'm holding down Shift to get a straight line. It's just so the edges are, well, the fade out definitely works. Right, now let's add this river in, shall we? I'm going to use photo water for this. Right, let's have a look here. Go on to that. I'm going to try and select it, see if that works. Okay, so we've got the entire river selected now. What we want to do is click on the separate layer we made, and we want to fill this in just with block color, basically, just with that color that we've got for photo water. You can use creation above darks or dirty rivers if you like. However, I've noticed that dirty rivers, if you use any kind of water modification, for example, I use FS water. If you use any kind of water modification, it modifies all water. So dirty rivers looks like normal water. Now, I've tested this on several occasions, and every single time it always comes out as the same. That is a football field. It's not a lake. It's a little river here as well. So right, I'm done being accurate now. Yeah, I'll do. Okay, let's fill that in. Okay, so that's the water done. Right, so we've got the water, and we've got our transition. What we need to do now is we need to add the areas that we're going to have night lighting in, which is this guy here. Just holding down Alt, by the way, to drop the color into there. It's a lot easier than, well, it's a lot easier than anything else, really. Now we want our night lighting to be underneath our water mask. So let's go ahead and do that. Still a fairly large brush, yeah. Now, the thing is, with Newcastle, it's a giant city, and everything's going to be lit. There's not going to be anything that isn't lit. So, I'm just going to go ahead and scribble, basically. Now, you know what? I'm not going to scribble. I'm just going to fill. There we go. Okay, so that's our mask pretty much done. We've got 3 layers of mask. So we just grab them and we'll join them into one by Control E, select them all together, press Control E. If we then bring in our actual mask image, which is this one here, pop it into Photoshop, and we'll grab our top layers on that. Move you back over there. Okay, that's there. Okay, now pop it into place. Now you're going to notice a couple of things, like originally, like the mask is set out to give you night lighting. So it doesn't look too bad, but it's not great. So just do what I've done. Right, so that'll give us our water mask, our blend out, and our night lighting, obviously. Okay, so once we're happy with that, we can just join the layers together and press Ctrl and S to save it. There we go. Right, so that's saved. Don't need that mask anymore. Right, what we want to do now is we want to make our winter textures. Just to show you, that's saved it. Yep. Making winter textures, it's fairly easy. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to duplicate the layer. So you've got a copy of it. Click on Image, go to Adjustments, and click on Threshold. And just scroll through these numbers till you're happy with them. And that'll work. Okay, now that gives us that. Now it's a black and white image. If we go ahead and use the blending options and click on lighter color, and that will blend it all together, and that will give us a snowy sort of looking thing. Now this will take a lot of editing to get all your roads correct and things like that, because obviously these roads aren't going to be covered in snow in real life, are they? So if we go again, and we can go to threshold. Now where the black is where it's going to be see-through. Now you can invert the color if you like, but you don't have to. So where the black is where it's going to be see-through. So click on lighter color again. That's not too bad. Doesn't look amazing. I mean, our roads are certainly clear, so that's the thing. Threshold. Lighter color. Oh, that's alright. Stop doing that! Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that works. Okay, so once you're happy with that, you can go ahead and Control Shift and S, Control Shift and S to save as. It's going to be a BMP, and let's just save it as a hard winter texture. Okay, that's saved as well. Right, one more thing to do, and that's night lighting. Now, night lighting can be a bit tricky. It's definitely one of the most time-consuming ones there is. We duplicate a layer again, and we're going to go to Image Adjustments, go to Hue and Saturation, pop it down to -90, and that gives us a nice dark image. The background layer, we're going to go ahead and change that by using Image Adjustments and then Variations, and we're going to put a yellow tint to it. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab the Eraser tool, nice soft edge. Okay. I'm going to zoom in. And what we're going to do is we're now going to click along each individual road. Now this is where I say it takes the longest, okay? So I'm on the wrong layer. Make sure you're on the top layer. And as you click, it takes away a bit of the imagery, and you're left with a fairly realistic looking night texture. It's not even a road. Pretty sure it's a freaking railway. Okay, so now it's up to you. You can make this accurate or as inaccurate as you'd like. I have simply just done the main motorway passing through there. So a little bit to do up there as well. And as you can see, I'm just clicking with the eraser tool, taking away some of the areas. Now once you get to the end, you can just stop and go somewhere else. Now for residential streets, like down here for example, residential streets, you're going to want to use a smaller brush, and it's going to want to be on a lower opacity as well, because the light isn't as intense. I don't mean too low. It's about 75, that'll do. Now what I'll do is just tap again. Now this will take a very long time to get everything sorted out. What we're going to do is we're just going to put in a few essential areas like this, for example. I'm going to put a little bit in the town centre here, I should say city centre. Where's our train station? There it is. We're going to pop the car park lights in. We're also going to light this front street. Okay, I'm not going to light much else, simply because I just want you to see how it works. The reason why I'm not going to light anything else is because I don't want there to be any bleed through. So if anything else is lit up, we know this didn't work! Yay! Right, so we're going to go ahead and Control Shift and S for that one as well. It's far from done, but we're going to leave it there anyway. BMP, and we'll save it as Area Night. Okay. So now we've got all our areas. Go ahead and close that. And close them. And get rid of you. Right, we've now got all our areas. So we've got the daytime texture, the nighttime texture, and the snowy texture that we've edited. We've also got the winter, autumn, spring, summer, blah blah blah. Sorry, winter, autumn, spring, and of course summer. Right, we're now going to go ahead and compile these images. I'm going to compile them into a piece of scenery. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's probably going to take a lifetime. Well, not really. Because FSEarthTiles gave us 4 separate files. These guys. This one is just information. Like, it gives you all the information about the imagery, so you can make your own one of these. Now, what these are INF files. There's 3 of them. In the first one, we have one source, and that's this guy. So if we were to drag this into resample, it would compile the scenery, and we'd have only this texture with the sharp edges and everything. If we were to drag this one in, we have 2 sources, which is this guy and this guy. So it would take the information from the mask and it would apply it to this imagery. It would say, right, so there's a blend around the edge, and there's a water mask in the middle. Okay, that's fine. And it would apply that to FSX. But the one we're after is this guy here. 7 sources. Now what this is this is everything. So it will generate our seasons, it will generate our night map, and it will apply the mask over the top of everything to allow us to see where things go. So this is the one we want. Let's go ahead and compile it. And I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, in my FSET main folder, I've got our resample.exes. Now you'll normally find these in your SDK packages, like in the FSX SDK and things like that. I've just copied them and I've renamed them for what sim they're for. For example, resample.exe is for FS 2004. Resample P3D version 2.exe is, well, it's obviously X-Plane, isn't it? I think you know where I'm going with this. So what we want to do is we want to drag our INF file into the relevant sim. So for me, it's resamplex.exe. And what this will do is that will start generating the scenery. Now, this can take a bit of time. It says it's going to be about 6 minutes. So, which realistically for my PC means about 10. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, so once it finishes compiling the scenery, you're not going to get any complete messages or anything like that. There's no pop-ups or whatnot to say scenery is compiled. And there's no error log either to go back on when you resample this way. I mean, there might be one that's created, but in this particular case, there's no logs. Okay, so we've now got that done. Let's quickly just recap what we have done. Okay, so we've started with FSEarthTiles. We've drawn an area. We've selected our services and everything. We've changed our folders, and we've compiled the scenery that way. Not scenery. And we've compiled the imagery. We've then gone into Photoshop and brought in the daytime texture, the original summer daytime texture, and we've added our new layers. We've created a mask using particular colors. We've saved that as the mask image. We've then used the same image again, which is the daytime texture, the summer daytime. I'm just going to call it area snap. We've then used the same image of the area snap, so the original daytime texture, and we've created our snowy textures by using threshold and then clicking on lighter color in the blending options. We've then saved that as our hard winter texture. Now for the night texture, we've done kind of the same technique, but instead of clicking on threshold, we've darkened the color down by using hue and saturation. We've just darkened it down to -90, and we've used our eraser tool to splotch patches of light. We've then saved that image as the night texture. Okay, we've then used the area FSX mask seasons info, INF, drag that into the resample.exe that we're going to be using, and we've compiled the scenery. Now we've got that scenery compiled now, so we don't need this folder open anymore. However, I'm just going to go ahead and find ourselves Steam, and what we're going to do is we're going to drop that into FSX, just put it into add-on scenery. Newcastle City. There it is. Okay, so this is our area. This is our add-on scenery folder in FSX. Now we can go ahead and change the name if we like, so let's just call it Newcastle City Photo. And we'll just copy that into add-on scenery, and there it is. Right, there are no textures with this. Texture folder is completely empty. So once we've got that done, we can now pop that back into, well, open. So once we've got that done, we can now open up FSX and we can test it out to make sure everything worked. Okay, so here we are at Newcastle Airport inside FSX, little ultralight. Let's go into slow mode and go up a bit. I'll do. Forget Newcastle actually has a lake. Right, so we need to go south. Over time. Okay, and there is our photo scenery. Look at the fade out there, like you can. The fade out is like cut off the land. Anyway, yeah, this is our photo scenery. We just drop it down a little bit. That's not actually too bad, actually. Yeah, pretty accurate. Okay, so we've got this sorted now. We're here to check to make sure everything is working. So if we go to the upper end, where the fade out is, yep, just about right. Looks like terribleness. Good. The fade out, that is, not the scenery. Yeah, I think it looks fairly decent when it comes to the river. Right, what we're going to do now is we are going to change the time to nighttime. And we're going to see if that worked. Okay, so here we have our nighttime. As you can see, the area that I've lit up is just the motorway. And a few little other bits as well, but mostly just the motorway. There's a little residential area there that I've lit up as well. And that is how you apply your night textures realistically. Yeah, that's all gone fairly well actually. So it looks quite nice. You might want to add your own sort of unique taste on it, like you might want to not make the area below it yellow. It's up to you completely. But that's how I do it. Yeah, it was quite cool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to check is the the seasonal textures. Go to winter, go to day. Oh, there we go. So we've got our hard winter textures applied as well. So just by clicking on winter, we've got that far. Now if we look at that, you can see it's all snowy. It's quite nice. If we go further out here, we can see less snow, which is also weird. But yeah, as you can see, it's all snowy, which is very nice. It's taken shape quite well, actually. Quite like it. So yeah, that is Newcastle City. Again, you can add your own little takes. You can adjust the night textures. You can play around with this winter textures. You can edit your individual seasons if you like. But for me, this is a tutorial that I've been waiting to do for a long time. I did plan on releasing this in 3 parts, but I might not. I might still, I don't know. Depends on how editing goes. Anyway guys, my name is Mark from Soulfly Concepts. If you did like that tutorial, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you didn't like it, then there's no point in you getting this far really, so you know, go ahead and hit the thumbs down if you got this far, and just to let me know you watched it right to the end. And subscribe to the channel by all means. Please do subscribe. We are approaching 700, and it is just incredible. Like, I've got no words. I have no words to explain that. 700 subs, man. Yeah. Anywho, so that's FSEarthTiles photo scenery. If there's any questions, post them in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. My name is Mark. Good fly. I just moved. Not meant to do that. FSEarthTiles! Sorted! Woo!